So, I've never really done a YouTube video before, but I recently got an iPad, and I'd like to do a little review on Procreate. A couple years prior, in like 2019, 2020, I had an iPad 6th generation and used it for a while, but it was pretty different from how I do now. I was pretty strictly in the line art and then color under it category of artist, and I feel like I'm a little more diverse now, especially after I've been using Clip Studio Paint for 3 years in the interim on my Galaxy Tab, which it was okay. It wasn't the best tablet to get. It had some dead zones if you weren't holding it just right, and it was a little small compared to my iPad now, but I still really liked it. The first problem I had with Procreate is the brushes. I didn't really see any brushes that called out to me. I really like a nice, like, creamy charcoal chalk brush. During this drawing that I'm doing right now, I actually didn't find the brush until around the end. I downloaded a bunch of brushes from the internet. I'll put it up on the screen, which one I got. But I found a brush that I really liked. It had like the tilt. I really like the tilt. I didn't have that on my old one. And it's really useful for shading, and especially if I'm, just doing it on a multiply layer real quick. The only problem is if you use it in the eraser form, it's not that great. That's what I really liked about Clip Studio, was you could just quickly switch between the brush and then a transparent version of the brush and erase with that, which was really helpful, and it just kind of made everything seamless. And here I just can't seem to find a brush that's good for an eraser brush because it's not really opaque enough. That's what I found with a lot of these brushes that I've been looking at, is it's not really opaque enough. When I use Clip Studio Paint, I really use the same brush for literally everything. That's kind of my MO lately, is I've just been, I'll do the sketch, and then I'll do the base colors, and then I'll just merge it and go crazy. And I usually just use the same brush, and sometimes I'll add details with, general color changes with the airbrush and all that. But, Procreate isn't really great for just using one brush, It's not really the blending part. It's just that it's not, opaque enough, I guess. It's just not the same brush. It's not as creamy or as smooth. And there aren't as many, you can't customize every single thing you want to, like you could on Clip Studio. The only thing that really got me to switch from Clip Studio to Procreate was the fact that I did not have to pay $24 a year for Procreate. Because as much as I love Clip Studio Paint, if you are broke when that $24 a year comes around, you have to wait until you can afford to pay for it, which it might sound stupid, but if you're broke, that $24 could go to gas or groceries or something. So I'm just glad that I do not have that looming over my head where I have to pay, an extra $24 a year. Another thing I really like about Procreate is I really like the time-lapse feature. I'm using it right now in this video, and the 30-second version, it's fine. I like the 30-second version, but the full time-lapse where you can just, I have a good 8-minute video here. And my problem is I do draw a little fast. This took 4 hours, which isn't super. This took 4 hours, which isn't super short, but a lot of my stuff takes 2 to 3 hours to do, if I'm not doing some big concept idea, which this was, because I love the Funny Brothers. Shout out Super Mega. Their Elden Ring video was quite satisfying to feast my eyes upon. I do really like the transformation and like the selection tools. Those are really nice. The automatic selection tool, or the magic wand tool in Clip Studio terms, is not as good. I can't seem to get the sweet spot of the selection tool. And there's also no like increment tool. I really enjoy cleaning up my line art and then selecting and then inverting and then incrementing the selection so that I can get, you know, like a nice outline on what I'm doing, like a white outline if it's something transparent, or a black outline if it's text or something, like a stroke in Photoshop terms, like a stroke. I like to have a nice stroke on the outside of my art, and Procreate does not make it easy. I have to do it by hand, which is fine. I actually prefer doing things by hand lately, but it would be a lot easier and a lot more streamlined if I could just do that quickly and then just clean it up afterwards. I really don't like that in Procreate, that there's, you know, a few features that I would normally use every day and every single piece, and I can't do it. And you can do it by hand, but, you know, when I have a lot of commissions to do, or I'm very busy, or I don't have time, or I just don't want to do something, I won't do it, you know? And that could be the difference between it looking great or it looking kind of subpar, which, it happens. People draw bad art. It's not a big deal, but I would like, you know, a stroke feature to like increment the selection. If they do have something where you can increment the selection, please tell me in the comments, because I genuinely have no idea. At the end of this right here, I totally fucked up the arm. I had a lot of things that I had to change last minute. I posted it to Twitter originally, and then I looked at it for about 10 minutes and I was like, no, I fucked up, and I had to change quite a bit at the end. That's what I'm doing right here. I inverted the canvas, and I redid the whole arm. I added his underwear, and I added the candles. The underwear says Super Mega on them. You know, Matt's gotta have some little tidy whities going on. And I also looked up a tutorial for chainmail when I did this, and it's actually super easy. You just kind of do C's, alternating which direction they go in, and then just kind of highlighting the ones to show light, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that. I was completely lost. At the beginning of the video, you probably saw me draw a bunch of circles, but yeah, that was my first YouTube video. I hope you guys liked it. Subscribe or something.